Hey everybody, KMO here, and let's start with a video that I saw on Twitter just a little while ago.
What are you doing? Use your words, what are you doing? Use your words, what are you doing? Use your words. What is going on? Who are you? NLG will get you out. What's your name? Tell us your name.
What's your name?
Okay, you're fine, we'll get you out.
Bro, what?
We got you, friend.
We got you.
Oh, fuck.
NLG.
You just violated their rights.
Oh. Kidnapping people.
You just violated their rights.
Thanks for keeping the fucking. Oh.
What are you doing?
There we go.
Okay, so first off, I don't have a succinct point that I hope to make in this video other than if you think that this began with or is culminating with the Trump administration, you are simply naive. It could be that you were too young to remember what the United States was like before September 11th, 2001, but it was a very different place than it is now. We have had loads of security theater, which is to say, pantomime security that doesn't actually make anybody safer, or at least not significantly safer, but gives people the appearance that something is being done. We've had a lot of that. But we've also had a lot of tightening of the screws on personal liberties, but that is done in an anti-theatrical fashion. So guys on the streets, pulling up in unmarked cars, probably rental cars, in full combat regalia, faces covered, taking people without telling them that they're under arrest, forcing them into unmarked cars and driving them away, that is a gift. That is a gift from the Trump administration. Because, it is the Homeland Security Department. When my oldest son was born, my oldest son is 19. When he was born, the Department of Homeland Security did not exist. There was no such agency. It is a recent development. But if you're 30, it happened when you were in single digits. You don't remember America before that. Security theater is ostentatious. You have to take off your shoes. You have to go through the naked body scanner at the airport. You have to submit to people you don't know putting their hands on your body and groping you in the name of security. It doesn't make you any safer. It doesn't make anybody any safer. People who are determined to smuggle things through that pantomime theater can do so easily. But it gives everybody the impression that if everybody just gives up a little bit of dignity, a little bit of personal space, a little bit of privacy, and a little bit more next year and a little bit more the year after that, that a certain baseline level of security can be maintained. Well, it can, but it's a psychological security. It is not physical security. So there is the security theater, but there is also the actual consolidation of authority. And along with the, legislative backroom machinations and discussions and negotiations that take place between people whose names we don't even know to effect this creep, this totalitarian creep, along with it is certainly a technological component. And the lords of Silicon Valley, the lords of tech, are not only complicit in that, but they profit off it. They are as culpable as Donald Trump. But the thing is, either next year or 4 years, 4.5 years from now, Donald Trump will be gone. But the lords of tech will still be there. They'll still be in bed with the national security state. Technology will still be proliferating and creeping ever deeper into our every waking moment. We pay money for these things that we know. We know that they track our movements. We know that they map our social interactions and our social networks. We understand that that's happening, but the games are fun. Twitter's addictive. I don't do TikTok or other youth-oriented apps, but they're engaging. These platforms are designed to keep us engaged to the point where we don't care that we are giving away everything. It is so sophisticated in its appeal and in the pace at which it intrudes further and further into our lives every single year. We are further penetrated by watchful eyes and, more importantly, sensors and algorithms which can take fragments of data, which wouldn't mean anything to a human being, and create elaborate, detailed portraits of who we are, what we do, and what we're likely to buy, what systems of authority we are likely to challenge. Most of us are unlikely to challenge any significant, authority establishment. But for those who demonstrate that they are, thank God that unidentified, militarized, secret police show up on the streets and take people away without identifying themselves as federal agents, without telling the person they're under arrest, much less explaining what they're under arrest for, without reading them their rights. These naked demonstrations of authoritarian power are just a little hint of honesty at the much more sophisticated authoritarian creep that takes place. It took place throughout the Bush years, throughout the Obama years. The Obama administration had 8 years to dismantle some of the enhanced national security state that was created in the wake of 9/11, and they didn't. Far from it. They took what the Bush administration handed them and they took it further. So what got me on this topic today was I saw this video. Now, for anybody who's my age or older, this video really should piss you off. I mean, maybe you've gone to sleep, maybe you're just like me, you're just like everybody else, and that intellectually you understand that we are losing our autonomy as citizens and that we are ever more the subjects not only of the federal government but also of non-governmental agencies, particularly the Silicon Valley ones. But it's just so soothing. It is just so sophisticated in the way it creeps into our lives that we can't keep it in mind all the time. It just doesn't alert us to the danger the way militarized, unnamed, masked agents do when they jump out of unmarked cars on city streets, grab people, throw them in the car, and drive them away. Now, the United States is not so far gone that these people are being tortured, that their bodies are going to turn up mutilated in a ditch somewhere. They're probably going to be held, not even really questioned, just held to make them feel scared for a few hours and then released. But if you think all this started with Donald Trump, and if you think it's going to end with his defeat, his electoral defeat, you are naive and mistaken, and most likely, in my opinion, you're getting upset about Donald Trump because it flatters your tribe and because it gives you a neurological reward. But consider this. Swapping Trump for Joe Biden is not going to change anything about the increasing scope of government authority, particularly when combined with the technology provided by not only Silicon Valley, but also the Chinese equivalent of Silicon Valley. Tools and techniques for social control don't stay in the place where they were invented. They are not inhibited by ideological borders, something that the Chinese government concocts to control its citizenry. The U.S. national security state will look at without prejudice and consider its potential viability. And if you don't believe that the USA Patriot Act was written vaguely with the express intent of mission creep over the years, again, you are looking at this through partisan lenses, which leave you so naive as to be utterly helpless. Now, I don't claim to have enormous autonomy in comparison to you. The person who is aware of their cage, are they any freer than the person who thinks they're free but is in that same cage? Maybe a little bit, that much. But the idea that, this is a reason to be specifically upset at the Trump administration is stupid. Trump has done you an enormous favor by being such a goober about his authoritarian leanings. Walking across the street, having peaceful protesters tear gassed to clear his path from the White House to a church so he can walk across the street and hold up a Bible which he has never opened to read in his life. Maybe he genuinely identifies as a Christian. I don't know. But I'm sure he has no sophistication whatsoever in, the tenets of his own religion. If it indeed is his religion. I suspect he's just like most New York liberals. He's vaguely a-religious. Maybe he has some church affiliation, but it means nothing to him. If he were more sophisticated, if he was a Barack Obama, I would suspect that he is a closet atheist and that he despises Christians, and yet he overtly displays his Christian identity for cold political means. But I don't think that Donald Trump is that sophisticated. I think Donald Trump, in this sense, in his willingness to just be artless in the flexing of his authoritarian muscles, is a gift. Because somebody like Barack Obama is many orders of magnitude more insidious than Donald Trump, because Obama is so charismatic, so intelligent, so well-spoken, and provides such a respectable face for imperialism, for the loss of civil liberties, for the encroachment of the high-tech national security state into all of our lives. It's just Donald Trump, he just doesn't know how to do it in that smooth, sophisticated way. And so he does it in his nakedly self-aggrandizing way, which, rips the curtain off for just a minute. As soon as he's gone, that curtain will be replaced, and it will be adorned with something so soothing and so beautiful that you will sigh with relief and go back to whatever it was you were doing before you got so caught up in Donald Trump, and yet nothing fundamentally will have changed. That is Joe Biden's campaign slogan to the donor class. Nothing will fundamentally change. Nothing. Not just their tax rate, but working people will have no more authority, and in fact, their scope of action will be systematically, incrementally, consistently, continuously narrowed and constrained under a neoliberal Democratic administration. When the Republicans come in and do it like, naked doofuses, it is a gift. You should be grateful for this gift. All right, that is all. I'll talk to you later.